have completed about Tirumurai Chirappu, in which Sheklar describes about the life of Manunidi Cholan. Entire story about Manunidi Cholan, how Manunidi Cholan rendered justice to people, how he was a justful king, and how as a king he delivered justice, even though one who committed sin is his own only son and who is the only heir for the kingdom. Despite of such situation, how Manunidi Cholan rendered justice and how Tiruvarur was there during his period. So, instead of talking about Tiruvarur, he talked entirely about the story of Manunidi Cholan, and he explained it with the context to the streets of Tiruvarur. See, any Purana or any session should be dealing with the Niti Bodhana to the first, Dharma Shastra. All our Shastras are asking us to follow the Dharma. Dharma is the very important key concept for our life. So, Kekayar also uphold the Dharma by telling us the story of Manunidi Chola and asking us to follow the way of Dharma. See, Dharmic way of life is the thing which all our people are trying to live upon. Every life of ours is having its own rules and regulations. We are being entitled to the rules of such case. So here, Keklar also upholds the Dharma by telling us the story of Manunidi Chola in the Tirumurai Chirappu. And in the entire story, when he was discussing about, when he is telling about each and every character, and he is upholding the Dharma in the view of each and every character. You see, the last session, we have discussed about Manunidi Chola. As a king, he wanted every citizen of his kingdom to enjoy the Dharma, which is open to everyone. So, in order to describe that, Sheklar is telling us that the king has hung a bell at his entrance where any citizen of his kingdom or any being of his kingdom can come and ring the bell and call for the king and make his attention to the case immediately at that moment. See how much these kings were open to the public, how much these kings were open to the common being. That is what it is being shown. And Chekalar is also telling that that bell was never rung in his kingdom. By which Sheklar is telling us people are always with that, people who are living in that kingdom are always enjoying the dharma. So there were never an opportunity for the people to ring that bell in his kingdom when the king was ruling in a very justful manner. So it is talking us about the justice what that king Manunidi Chola was rendering to his common public. And also that when the prince, who is the only heir to the throne, when he rode the chariot on the streets of Tiruvarur, he struck an calf, a male calf of a cow. When he struck, the calf gave up its life at the very moment by looking into the eyes of the king, that prince. The prince suddenly got very worried and he is telling that I have done a very greatest sin of my life. I have killed a life which hasn't even started it. See, the cough can be compared to the life of the prince himself. They both haven't started their life. But prince is uttering that word. And prince is surrendering himself before the people who are rendering the justice and asking him to deliver the justice in the justful manner. At the same time, the cow didn't go to anyone. It went straight to the king's palace. By its horns, it is striking the bell tied on the entrance of the king's palace. See, when the king hears that bell, when he hears that bell sound, he literally shatters to that moment. Sheklar is telling us. It was like a thunder directly landed onto his ears. He was nearly shocked and questioning who was ringing that bell. When the king questioned, everyone are rushing to the bell and they found a cow is ringing the bell, and the king is telling, I am so worried, go and find what is happening. Then the ministers are reaching him and telling what happened. King is telling, I am in such a mood that how that cow is feeling, the same feeling I am feeling. The cow lost its cough, like I am also lost, and I should be the one who should be feeling the same at this moment. That is what Sheklar is telling. So the king rendered the justice at the same street, by the same chariot, at the same street, by the same chariot. Let my son also give up his life, how the calf lost its life. Everyone are stopping the king. They are trying to stop the king. They are asking him, please don't do this. Everyone are asking the king to not to do this. They are asking the king, they are asking him to render a justice in a way that how Pashuvadai, how people, how the judges will treat that if a cow is being hurted, the same case can be compared here. But king is not agreeing to any of those points. He is literally telling one word. Have you ever heard a cow reaching the bell, which is meant to render the justice? Have you ever heard a cow mourn for the life of someone who passed away and seek justice for what sin has happened? So it is a test for my dharmic life. I need to render it. That is what the king was telling. Of all these times, Sheklar is building up how dharma is being upheld by the people of Tiruvarur, from king till the common. The king is asking his minister to ride the chariot, let the prince be the cause, and he shall lose his life in front of the king, who is the father. Let the king suffer as the cow is suffering. See, it is his own son, king is rendering such a justice. The minister, he is not agreeing to it. Minister said, oh my king, I will not do that. Oh my king, I will not do that. I am not ready for it. Let me kill myself. The minister is killing himself. Instead of disobeying his king, instead of obeying his king by killing the prince, he doesn't want to do any of those. So he literally killed himself. See, such a devotion that minister is having over his people. On seeing this, king was so shocked. Even after that, he doesn't want to go back. he is mourning for his minister, and he himself rode the chariot, and he is rendering the justice as he said. At that moment, Swami appeared him. He gave the full darshan to him. He brought the minister's life back. He brought the calf's life back. Then the calf reached the womb of its mother. The same time, the prince also woke. Swami told how these Chola kings were justful, how they were rendering justice since time immemorial. Swami is telling about all these things, and then he is telling us about that Tiruvaru. Chekiyar narrates about the Manunidi Cholan story by telling us about the Manunidi Chola story. Chekiyar is telling us about this Tiruvaru. So now, after the Tirunagaratchirappu, we are moving into Tirukoottachirappu. What do you mean by Tirukootam? Tirukootam. Tirukootam means the divine crowd of the devotees of our Swami. Tirukootam means the divine crowd of our Swami. So Tirukoottachirappu is something which talks about the life of Shivanadiyas. So the first line of Tirukoottachirappu. Tiruchitrambalam Bodhanayahar Puttidam Gondavar Adidevar Amarnda Pungovilir Sodimamani Neel Shudar Mundal Shul Mudayal Tiruvayal Munnayadu. Bodhanayahar. Our Swami is the one who is the leader for all the Buddhas. He is revered as Bodhanayakar. Our Swami is the Lord of all the Bhutaganas. And in Tiruvarur, in earlier discussions, when we have discussed, Om Namah Shivaya, அன்பர்களுக்கு வணக்கம் சொல்லிடு. She is trying to imitate the class. Sorry, pardon us. Bodhanayakar Puttidam Kondavar. See, in the earlier sessions when we were discussing about Swami, we have clearly seen our Swami is known as Puttidam Kondar in Tiruvarur. And our Swami is revered as that he lives in Pungovil. In the earlier sessions during the Tirumalai Chirappu and all, we were discussing about the Pungovil. It is where Swami is residing. Our Swami at Mount Kailash, he is giving us darshan under a Pungovil. That is why we are telling about Pungovil Utpuhanda Punniyanai. We are talking about him. So our Swami is having Pungovil. The Pungovil is so special, which is literally showing us the darshan what Swami is giving at Mount Kailash. When Swami took Shantikeshwara to him, when he declared Shantikeshwara as an adopted son for him, Swami gave his Nirmalya. Swami gave his Jadamakuta. Swami gave his Nirmalya. Also, Swami gave his Pungovil. See, Pungovil is something very unique to Swami. You can see, you can have darshan of our Swami in Rishabhavahana. We praise Rishabhavahana darshanam. But Pungovil is something greater even than the Rishabhavagana. Pungovil is something greater even than the Rishabhavagana. So, when we have darshan of our Swami under the Pungovil, it is literally like we are having our Swami's darshan at Mount Kailash itself. That is why Sheklar is telling us, Bodhanayakar, Puchidangondavar, Adidevar, Amarnda Pungovil. So, in the Pungovil, Adidevar, our Swami, Puchidam Kondar is there. சோதிமாமணி நீல் சுடர் முன்றில் சூழ் மூதையில் திருவாயில் முன்னாயது. That Pungovil is surrounded by big fort walls. The fort walls are so lit. The fort walls are so lit. Pungovil is not a temple. Pungovil is a place where our Swami is giving us darshan at Mount Kailash. So, it is like a temple which is decorated with flowers, we could compare. Our temple is surrounded by the flowers, and in that fragrant flowers, all the plants which are taking plants, creepers, it is a compilation of plants, trees, creepers, which are carrying the fragrant flowers. Also that the animals which are relying on these plants, they will also be there. Like basically Pungovil is compared to a place with beautiful lotus ponds and different fragrant flowers, and even the place where these deers and cows roam together. Even when it comes to the deer, it is literally they are meaning to the marai, which is called the black bucks. So black buck is something which lives in the grassland. So they had these things in their mind. So in Pungovil, all these things will be described. So did I clarify your doubt, Amma?
Yes, Aya. So that means only in that area there's Pungovil, or anywhere can be called.
See, actually, when we talk about Mount Kailash, Swami is living there in Pungovil. So, wherever Swami is taken into such a very high accord, those places will have Pungovil as a Vahanam for Swami. The temple of such a high accords will be called as Pungovil. For example, our Tiruvarur, where our Swami Puchidam Kondar is there, his Moolattanam is known as Pungovil. Tiruvarur Puchidam Kondar's Moolattanam is known as Pungovil. Like in Tirunelveli, our first day of the festival, our Swami comes through Pungovil. It is to show us that how Swami is coming to Tirunelveli from Mount Kailash. So that is where, if you could see, on the first day of the festival, during our the big festival, our Swami and Ambal, they both come under the Pungovil. So Pungovil is referred to this. Clear?
Yes, Aya, very clear.
See, basically, when we are talking about our darshan, our Swami's darshan. See, when we are having darshan of our Swami, we need to think about him, how he is there in Mount Kailash itself. So at a very few places only we have this Pungovil as a structure. So if you could see in Tirunelveli, we have this Pungovil. So it is the same case where all the temples surrounding Swami Nellayappar temple will have this Pungovil as the Vaganam. So on the very first day, you could see Swami traveling on Pungovil Vahanam. 1 minute, if I could show, I will take the picture of the same. So, if it is in the same case, Pungovil is something very unique. That is why you see this Shantigeshwara is taken into procession through Pungovil, because Swami has given Pungovil to Shantigeshwara. Okay, I'm sharing you. So, could you see the image?
Yes, Guruji.
So, this is actually Pungovil of Tirunelveli. Swami is taken into the procession on the first day. Actually, in this image, the Pungovil is decorated with flowers, but basically, that decorations will have Swami with all the renditions of Pungovil. So, this is actually the back side. So, you could see the carvings here. Do you see it? So, in Ambals, you can see little clearly also. The image is not that much sharp. So, if you could see in the where I am keeping the mouse pointer, this is the place you could see this deers which are being traveling. So, can you see it now? So, if you could see, these are deers, what I am showing. And see, our elders were so devoted to it. So, when they were doing this, they wanted to make with flowers. So, what they did actually is literally like when they were making it, they wanted the Pungovil to be so delicate. So, they wanted to give Swami something so precious. So, you could see very small gaps here. You could see some shining gaps here. Mouse pointer, if you could see some shining gaps. So, these gaps are actually stones, these Kanaka Pushparagam stones actually. These are studded with that Kanaka Pushparagam. So, in the other image, you could see clearly. Could you see it?
Yes.
So, they have studded it with Kanaka Pushparagam stones. So, we doesn't want to rely on the natural flowers even when it is not available. They wanted Swami to be bordered on such precious thing. So, Pungovil is the place where our Swami resides on. Clear? So, சோதிமாமணி நீழ்சுடல் முன்றல் சூழ் மூதைகள் திருவாயில் முன்னது. So, when he is talking about our Tirukootam, Adiyar Tirukootam, when he is talking about, he is telling that they are all, he started talking about the place where these Adiyars are coming and assembling. So, Budhanayakar, Puchidam Gondavar, Adidevar Amaranda Pungovilir, சோதிமாமணி நீர் சுடர் முன்றல் சூழ் மூதைகள் திருவாயில் முன்னது. The temple where our Swami is there, that Pungovil is surrounded by fortress. Yayil means கோட்டை. that such kotai is having an entrance. In front of the entrance, I am going to talk about something. That is what Sheklar is telling. So 1 minute, I'll show you another one image. So now this is the image of Shantikeshwara. You could see Shantikeshwara is being carried out in a Pungovil Vahanam. This is also an image from Tirunelveli. Shiva. பூவார் திசை முகன் இந்திரன் பூமிசை மாவால் அகழத்து மாள் முதல் வானவர் ஓவாதெவரும் நிறைந்துரைந்துள்ளது தேவாசிரியன் எனும் ஆவணம். See, when we want to know about the meaning of the second hymn, we need to understand the first hymn. See, in the first hymn, Sheklar is telling us about the place in front of the Puttiramkonda's temple, the entrance. So, in front of the entrance, who are standing? Puvar Disai Mohan Indiran Pumusai Maval Aharathu Malmudal Vanavar. Puvar Disai Mohan. See, one who is sitting on the floor, who has faces facing all four directions. He is standing. Indiran is standing. Pumisai Val Aharathu Mal Mudal Vanavar. And Mahavishnu, one who has Mahalakshmi on his heart, he is there, and all the other devas are also there. For all these people, they are standing in front of this entrance of the temple, a place called Devasiriyan enum Tirukkavanam. Tirukkavanam is literally like an abode where all people come and cherish. So, in front of Tiruvarur, we have a place called Devasiriyan Mandapam. A place is there. Still it is there. It is the place where all adiyars can gather. It is the place where all the adiyars can gather. Please, I think Kalama, your call is still on. Your audio is still on. Kalama. Thank you. With reference to Pungovil, I'll show you one more thing. So this is one more golden Pungovil. Actually, no issues. We call it as Tanga Chaparam. So it was dedicated to Gantimati Ambal. So if you could see, it has a Pungovil inside and it is surrounded by the Tanga Chaparam. So here, if you could see, the Pungovil will have all these bearings, like same different flowers will be there, different series of animals will be there. Everything will be there in that Pungovil Vahanam. Basically, we cherish when it comes out, because only thrice in a year that Pungovil, that Tangachaparam used to come. Earlier it was only one time, now it is thrice. So people used to cherish when it comes. It is literally like the festival has been started. Okay. So we'll move for the next one. அறந்தை தீர்க்கும் அடியவர் மேனிமேல் நிறந்த நீச்சொழியாள் நிறை தூய்மையாள் பரந்த அஞ்செழுத்து ஓசை பொழிதலாள் பரந்த ஆயிரம் பார்க்கடல் போல்வது. அறந்தை, a Tamil word which means துன்பம். See, what gives us relief from the tumbam, from the dwellings of this life? What gives us relief? See, in our life, we need, entire life we are moving behind the salvation. Okay, our life, in our entire life, we are moving behind the salvation. So in our life, when we are moving towards the salvation, we need a way for it, right? We need a way for it to get ourselves clear from it. So what gives us, clearly moves us from all these tumbams, all these bad deeds which we have done in our earlier scene. Effects of the bad deeds. அறந்தை தீர்க்கும் அடியவர் மேனிமேல் நிறந்த நீச்சொழியாள். See, when you see a Shivanadiyar who has vibhuti over his body, on seeing him, on nearing to him, one's sin will be diminished. அறந்தை தீர்க்கும் அடியவர் மேனிமேல் நிறந்த நீச்சொழியாள். The vibhuti which Shivanadiyars are wearing themselves has such beautiful glow which takes away the disturbances of our life. This Devasriyan Mandapam is so bright because all the Shivanadiyars who are assembling in front of this Devasriyan Mandapam are wearing vibhuti over their body. So that is giving such a brightness to that Mandapam. And so this is the side of the Mandapam. 2 years, the Mandapam is giving one more feast. Paranda Anjaluttu Osai Bolidalal. For this, from this end, the hall, the entire temple, you could listen to Namah Shivaya Jabam. Paranda Anjaluttu Osai Bolidalal. பரந்த ஆயிரம் பார்க்கடல் போல்வது. This Devasriyan Mandapam is literally can be compared to 1,000 of our Parkadal. It is giving such a beautiful brightness. It is removing all the sins which we have done. It is enchanting to us. So that is what Sheklar is telling us through this thing. அகிலகாரணர் தாழ்வணிவார்கள்தான் அகிலலோகமும் ஆளற்குரியரென் அகிலலோகத் துளார்கள் அடைதலின் அகிலலோகமும் போல்வதனடை. See, the people who bow down to the Lord, our Swami, are the people who are entitled to rule this whole world. When all the worldly beings are understanding this, all the life in this earth will be so blessed to it. அத்தர் வேண்டி முன்னாண்டவர் அன்பினால் மெய்தழைத்து விதிர்ப்புரு சிந்தையார் கைத்திறத் தொண்டு செய்கடப்பாட்டினார் இத்திரத்தன்றியும் எண்ணிலார். அத்தர். Attar is a word which is comparing us, our Swami, to the Thagappan, Tandai, Dad. So people who are praying in front of this Lord, they have a habit. Because of the divine blessings from our Swami, whenever they hear about our Swami's divine name or his actions, they feel goosebumps. மெய்தழைத்து விதிர்ப்புரு சிந்தையார். When they think about, when they hear about the Swami or Swami's prabhavams, their body shook and they have a goosebump at that moment. These people are doing a divine duty. கைத்திருத்தொண்டு செய்கடப்பாட்டினார். They are the lamp bearers to the processions of our Swami. They are the people who do all the good deeds in front of Swami with their hands. They sing hymns, they play drums, they take the lamps, they carry our Swami, everything they do. இத்திரத்தவர் என்று அன்றியும் எண்ணிலார். So these are the people who are in front of our Swami. That is what Keklar is telling us. மாசிலாத மனிதிகள் மேனிமேல் பூசு நீருள் போல் உள்டும் புனிதர்கள் தேசினாள் எத்திசையும் விளக்கினார் பேசவண்ணா பெருமை பிறங்கினார். These people, they are wearing vibhuti, rudraksha. Their body is adorned with rudraksha, which is of very pure quality. It is masilada mani. They are so pure as like as the vibhuti those people are wearing. That is why we are never allowed to wear vibhuti of inferior quality. The vibhuti should be white in color. For that, we should not be wearing chalk powder, okay? The vibhuti, the pasunchana vibhuti which we are wearing, it should be white in color. மாசிலாத மனிதிகள் மேனிமேல் பூசு நீரு போல் உள்ளும் புனிதர்கள். How pure vibhuti that they are wearing on their body, such pure heart these people are having. All the directions of this earth are talking about the good actions of these people. Their lives, beings cannot be compared with anything on this earth.